What's going on, guys? 2015 F150. In today's video, I'm installing another Turbosmart blow-off valve. This one's a little bit different. That's the part number right there. This one is actually the full mechanical version. And if you follow my channel, then you probably are wondering why I'm installing another Turbosmart blow-off valve. I just recently installed the plug-and-play, you can say plug-and-play electronically controlled mechanical blow-off valve. So I'm going this route really for one reason, and that's premature venting or unwanted venting from the electronically controlled version of this. And what I didn't really understand, and I'm sure some will call me stupid, but the reason why I went with the plug-and-play one was because I thought the plug actually was to just, where it was, I guess, so it doesn't throw a code, plug it in and it has some resistors on it so it doesn't throw a code. And I thought the electronic version was adjustable, so I can adjust the, when the boost will release. It's not, so it's still controlled by the ECU, which thinks that you have a recirculation hose hooked up. So I will say that going to the Turbosmart plug and play, it did solve some of my premature boost release. Primarily in the lower gears, second and third, it would kind of, when I had my OEM blow-off valve, it would just, it didn't know what to do. It was releasing, closing, sporadically, kind of, it's hard to pinpoint exactly when, kind of between 2 and 3, when the torque converter locks up, you'll hear it open and close, and that was under, accelerating around 2100, 2200 RPM, somewhere around there, so normal acceleration. I didn't like that. And then what's going on now is I'll be in 6th gear, my overdrive gear, and I'll just give it a little gas to keep it going, that highway speed, and you can hear it venting. I thought it was just when I was towing. That's not the case. It does it when I have no load on my truck, and it is absolutely ridiculous, but maybe understandable if it had a recirculation tube hooked up. You wouldn't be losing any air. It would just be going back into the intake, but that's not what I got. So really, I'm kind of wondering why Turbosmart even made that shit, because I mean, my truck's completely modded. I think it'll be better for lightly modded or no mods, but it's still controlled by the computer that thinks there's a recirculation hose hooked up. So that doesn't make sense to me, because people that do the VTA mod on their OEM electronic blow-off valve, they can always throw that recirculation tube back on if they have this issue, and that's kind of what I did. I did the VTA mod, and I was kind of like, what the hell is going on with this venting? I didn't really care for it anymore, so I put the recirc back on and then kind of missed it, so I took it off. It was doing it again, and I came across, and I'm gonna go blow off valve, and then I came across the Turbosmart, the electronic one, the new 2021, and I said, perfect. I figured that was just a plug. It would not throw a check engine light because it would see that something's plugged into it, but it was still a mechanical, which it is. It just doesn't have any adjustability. So with this one, you can adjust the tension, I guess you can say, and this is full mechanical. So this should solve my problems, and I'm going to throw it on right now. Alright, getting under the truck right here so you guys can see what the 2020 version of the blow-off valve looks like. That's it right there. just the blow-off valve and the plug right there. So I'm about to take it apart and throw the new one on. That's what it looks like though. Nice, clean, you know, clean looking, well-made product, but not doing it for me. All right, so just pulled out the 2020 electronic version here. This is what it looks like. And as you can see, there's no adjustment. So this would have been good if it had an adjustment, but I guess it doesn't make sense since it's electronically controlled. What I actually just thought this was is I thought this just plugged in to the factory connection, and it had some resistors in line here, and you know, it was still a mechanically controlled blow-off valve, and this just, you know, made it so you wouldn't have a check engine light. But it's not, so it's a mechanical valve that's controlled electronically, which to me defeats the whole purpose. So this is your the new setup here, and make sure you get, if you're ordering this, make sure you get the 1371 version. I think this is the newest model, and I think all they changed was the 90-degree adapter here, which gets it away from your hot side charge pipe there. So yep, we're gonna get to installing this guy. Pretty straightforward. You got a boost reference hose that you got to run, but other than that, you know, this will bolt right up there. So I'm gonna get to it. If you can see right there, it's hitting that metal piece to turn. So son of a bitch, here we go. I'll be back. Alright, so I got the 90-degree flange on, and I also got my little bracket made up. And what they did change, I've got the wiring harness. It also looks like they changed, before they had a crimp on kind of to the OEM, and now they have a little pigtail. That's a nice little addition. So it just plugs into the OEM, and it already has the resistors heat shrinked on, so it's kind of more of a plug and play. Just plug it in, zip tie it out of the way instead of crimping on the resistors there to the wires. So that's nice. Gonna continue the install here. Alright, so a short while after we got the blow-off valve installed, I will mention that this is I got some leftover stuff, and the kit says it says 15 plus 3.5 and 2.7 EcoBoost. So I think this is actually supposed to say 13 plus, but I know on the 17 and newer models, or the Gen 2 EcoBoost, you're going to use like this thicker silicone hose, and you know, this device here and some other stuff. So this is what I got left over. It's actually a really easy, or much easier install if you have a 13 to 15 model. Basically you have this right here, this little adapter. So this is your intake manifold. You'll pull this one screw, pop that out, put that in. It's got a plug on the back. You can use that as a boost reference if you want. And then this hose, you just run that down, and I'll show you how I ran that. But you know, bolt this down, bolt that down, put that back. Hose, I just ran it straight down there. Don't know if you can see right there. Just straight down. I'll show you underneath. Right there, just come straight down. I got a little zip tie right there to the trans line just to hold it in place, and then it goes right there. So that's the finished product right there. They did say angle it down. You can see that. So I guess whatever doesn't get up in there, but I don't think it'll get in there either way. So that's the install. short and sweet. I have to do a little bit of modification there, but yep, I'm gonna crank it up and see how it sounds, and I shouldn't have any more of that premature boost let off, I guess, now that there is zero involvement from my ECU to the blow-off valve. It's strictly mechanical. Just wanted to add these blow-off valves come with these nice billet, this plug for your recirculation tube, but go ahead, you don't even need this. Just remove that tube, get that out of your truck, and just go to Home Depot and pick up one of these. You know, you can use these if you're doing the VTA mod too. It's an 1 1/8" chair, rubber leg tip there. It fits over perfectly, and you can even get like a little band clamp if you want. It fits pretty snug, but get a little band clamp and you can put it on there just for, you know, assurance. But yep, thought I'd add that in there, so you'll go ahead and get that pipe out of the way. You don't want that just hanging in there. It's easy to remove too, but yep, that's it. You guys got any more questions, let me know. Thanks.